All right, the length of a rectangle garden is 8 feet longer than the width. If the area of the rectangular garden is 20 square feet, find the length and width of the garden. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what this garden looks like. It's rectangular, so let's see if we can draw a nice rectangle here with some technology. Okay, so that's our rectangle. I really don't care if it's proportional, but here's what we know is that the length is 8 feet longer than the width. Okay, now right off the bat here, I can write a little bit of an equation here based on that expression or that words it gave me. The length is the same as taking the width, but then adding 8 more to it, okay? So everything is in relationship to the width. L for length, W for width. So over here, I say this is my width, and this is my length right there. Why is that important? It's because the area of a rectangle is the same as taking the length and then multiplying it by the width, okay? I've given myself some separation there because I'm going to fill those in. But here I have length as L, but I can change that into this expression W plus 8, right? Because that's the same as the length. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it in relationship to the width. The length is the width, but 8 more than that, okay? So over here in the formula, well, they did give us the area. It was 20 feet. And this is going to equal the length, which is, again, it's going to show that as the expression, the width, but 8 more than that. And then, of course, this is still being multiplied by the width, okay? So this is my equation that I got to solve for both the length and the width. But you can see I now have an equation that just has the width inside of it. So when I solve this equation, I will have the width. And then in addition to that, by distributing the W, I have W times W, which is W squared. Some students say, well, can you distribute from the right? Yes, distribution is just multiplication, so it doesn't matter which side it's on. And then I have W times 8, which would be 8 W's, okay? So this is my new equation, 20 equals W squared plus 8W. But I can see that this is kind of forming like these exponential equations that we've been looking at, these quadratics, these trinomials, that's the word I was looking for. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this equal to 0, which is going to allow me to solve for W with some factoring, right? So that's going to be 0 right there. I've zeroed out my 20 on the left. Now I have the equation W squared plus 8W. Now again, those are not like terms that I can combine, and I can't combine either of those with my negative or minus 20. So this is my equation right here that I need to now solve. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and I see that my coefficient of W squared is 1. So I know I can split this up into 2 binomials. I just got to figure out what 2 factors of negative 20 add up to positive 8 right there. So let's see, 2 and 10. 2 and 10 do work. I was thinking maybe something, well, not 4 and 5 don't work. And yeah, I guess that's all of them, right? So I'm looking at 2 and 10. Now you say 2 plus 10 is 12, though. That's true. I need them to add up to positive 8, and when I multiply them, I need this to be negative 20, right? So this would be, it's positive 8, so I'm going to make the 2 negative right there. So it would be W minus 2, and then W plus 10 right there. And that's what would equal 0, okay? All right, well, that's fine, and we did some factoring right there. It was pretty, it's fun, it's colorful, but what does this tell us? Well, this tells us, I'm going to take a bit of a shortcut right here, that your width right there in the first parentheses, it could be 2, but the second parentheses would tell you that the width could be also negative 10, all right? Now, if we are looking at W for width, if I put some labels on this, I hope I can emphasize my point right here, okay? If you were to look at these 2 feet and negative 10 feet, which one would you say would be the width? Well, hopefully you know that you can't have negative distances or lengths, so it can't be the 10 feet. The width must be 2 feet. Okay, now, since we know the width is 2 feet, and that's good, we know that the length is like taking the width, which we see as 2, and then just adding 8 more feet to it, and that would then show the length as 10 feet, okay? So, The width, 2 feet, the length, 10 feet, right? Now let's go back and check, okay? So just with these two values, is the length 8 feet longer than the width? It is. 2 plus 8 is 10. The other thing we have to check here is the area of the garden. Is it actually 20 square feet under these measurements? 2 times 10 is 20. Yeah, that checks off for both the width and the length. Be careful not to mix these up, because I believe if you put the width is 10 feet and the length is 2, it would mark that wrong on the assignment. So just be aware.